give them hell. Kind of reminds me of that, what was it I read? Give them both barrels and whatever you do. Something like that. Heading home for the day. It was a somewhat of a busy day at work, but I just kind of kept myself occupied at work with stuff, so didn't really film nothing at work because really it's just a boring day and not much at work. So now I'm heading home. I just saw that guy's tailgate. Give him hell. So I figured to turn the camera on. But yeah, it's nice that it's been getting darker sooner, and the weather has been definitely a little colder, which is always a good thing. I like the cold weather. I don't like the heat. So especially the heat out here with the humidity, and it's just sweaty, sticky. A friend of mine offered tonight for me to go to see Hacksaw Ridge. I guess that movie's out, the new Mel Gibson movie, World War II movie. I don't know. I guess it's just me being so lazy. I don't like going out at night, especially. Well, he offered all I'd have to do is drive over to his house, and you guys have taken that drive with me before. Yeah, he's really just 5 minutes. He's really just 5 minutes away from my house, so I just drive to his house. But I don't know. You know, I get lazy. I just want to just sit at home and watch my movies at home. I guess it's not all that exciting for me to go see a movie in the theater. Now, if Mel Gibson was actually in the movie, I might have to go see it. But he's just directing it. Pipe. Look at that thing. Mark it. That's why you need this big cutter. And that is a backplate, 2-inch copper pipe, courtesy of Cody. Can't turn that down, so big help from him getting this section of 2-inch copper pipe, because it's not easy to get that stuff. So heating it up so it can be softened, so I can make it into this backplate, because it is some thick metal. That's some thick stuff, and it's pretty hard to bend and mold, and it's not easy to punch holes through it either. So, but the key is to anneal it, get it soft. Even after I hammer it and get it to the shape I want, I'll anneal it again, mark the holes, and then punch it so it's easier to go through. Hey, well, yeah, So we're gonna come to the close because tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow we're gonna film JW's radio and get that going. So there's also gonna be a little addition to JW's radio, actually, which came from a fan viewer suggestion of the JW's radios, and I thought, you know what a great suggestion, what a great idea. I can't believe I didn't think of it myself, and that is to talk about incorporate talking about John Wayne's movies. So who better than to show up and be talked about in JW's radio than JW himself, the real JW. That guy. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, incorporate some of that. So talking a little bit about movies, I have actually watched this twice. I really like this movie. It's really cool because, well, one of the reasons I like it is it's old. It's an older movie. There's a certain feel, a certain tone that movies, especially the ones from the 70s, that have that just no other movie's ever gonna have. And Salem's Lot was really neat. It was really neat to watch it a second time around because I like to do stuff like that, because like sometimes the first time I watch it and you're just trying to gather all the information, and then the second time you watch it, it's really refreshing too, because you're like, okay, I know this is, Jeffrey Lewis's character. Man, I'm such a big fan of Jeffrey Lewis. So when he actually got bit by the vampire and he turned and everything, I was like, oh, what? So I've always been a fan of Jeffrey Lewis because of all the Clint Eastwood films. He's collaborated with Eastwood many times. My favorite is definitely Every Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can. Those two are my favorite Eastwood and Jeffrey Lewis movies, and actually really it's a really fun, those two are some of the funnest Eastwood movies I think he's made. I really like those. He really was man, it really goes to show you that what a great actor Eastwood is, really, because here's a guy that can do that and make it really fun, really funny, and just really bring you into the movie and totally be a different character. When I watch that, I don't think of Dirty Harry. It's interesting. That's really what's neat about it, is when an actor can do that. When an actor is, when he's done that Dirty Harry thing, and when he's just like, every time, a lot of times you see him, you're just like, Dirty Harry, that's Dirty Harry. And then he goes and does a film like that. It's almost hard to make that separation. I think it was really risky that he did The Gauntlet, because that was pretty much right after a Dirty Harry movie, and here he is being a cop. And so how do you play that off? And he directed it. But it was really a good separation totally from Dirty Harry, and he's done that in another movie called Tightrope, which actually I must admit is not my favorite movie. Tightrope, I have it. I've watched it a few times. I never really got it around it. I never liked it. It's a really dark movie, actually. So, all right. And as a little talk, I wanted to actually talk about this because it's it's kind of based out here in the islands. Donovan's Reef. John Wayne, Donovan's Reef, found this at a yard sale. I couldn't grab this out of the yard sale bin fast enough because it's a great movie. I like this movie a lot. I think I read a comment once, something they said, when you tell John Ford to take a vacation, what does he do? He grabs the Duke and Lee Marvin and does a movie. So, great movie in Hawaii. This movie just cracks me up. There's a couple of scenes in this that really make it funny. I love how just like totally just off the chain Lee Marvin is. He's just like a wild man. I love the grabbing the bottles, and either I think he's in a lot of John Wayne's movies, and I can't remember his name, but I think he's at the bar, and I think he cracks the beer open with his teeth. I think he just grabs it and just so easily and then I think there's a couple of scenes where they actually just crack the bottle of the neck on the counter or something, and just beer goes flying everywhere. So that is always just like the countless times where they just bust the bottle, throw a bottle, or just like crazy just ways they just pop it open, literally pop it open. But when there's a scene where I believe the doctor or somebody's coming back to the island, and John Wayne's looking at the note, and he's saying something like, he mentions something like he says he goes, the girl, he goes, her name is such and such, and Lee Marvin's retort is, how the heck do I know? I'm not the one shacking up with her. It just always cracks me up. So great movie. I really like it. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, close this vlog out. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm gonna do JW's radio, film it, and get it done. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about I guess pick one of John Wayne's movies and talk about it a little bit, to incorporate that into JW's radio. So that will be fun. Let's see how that goes. I think it'll be definitely something to continue on. So, and then this week on the main channel, had a lot of changed it up a little bit. There was really a lot more different guns than I usually do. And again, just to recap on some of that stuff, I am actually not the owner of such as like that Springfield Armory and guns like that. The only one I think that is mine is the Rossi pump action, of course, the classic gun. Never really been, it's not that I'm trying to, like, you know, bash those other guns, but I'm just never been one that was like those guns. I mean, I rarely go and buy a modern gun. A lot of times it's like, you know, oh, classic gun, I want a classic gun. So yeah, I know some people might be thinking I'm just like going crazy buying all these guns. I'm really not. If you watch the Hangout video with Cody and I, where it's titled "Where Has He Been?" or "Where Have You Been?" That's basically directed towards Cody. But yeah, we talked about, man, when was the last time we bought guns? So it's kind of not, yeah, we don't know. So thanks for watching, you guys, and that's gonna be it for today's vlog. Guess who's back? Bruce. You came back from vacation. Come back to help produce the videos. Hopefully the content will improve now. Thanks for coming back. Thanks, guys.